Hello, I'm Maya and I'm here today to show you my new journal. It's called Georgeanna. The size of the journal is 7.5 by 5.5. The spine is 2.5. On the front, it has a picture of Georgeanna and it has lace on the bottom with a corner protector. It also has blue ribbon, a blue fabric in the front, and blue and turquoise sari silk for closure. On the spine, this journal has 4 signatures, and on the spine it has 4 sections of beads. And it also has a tassel. It has various ribbons and fabric, along with sari silk, and some of the decorations I put on. On the back is a different fabric than the front, with purple lace on the bottom. Okay, now we're gonna open the journal. Oh, this is the switchblade that I used with paper napkin. When you open it, it's coffee dyed cotton pocket with a journaling tag inside. On the tag, it has flowers and a library, along with space to write on the back. Line paper or blank paper. It's coffee dyed with a little ribbon on top. Then we have the first signature. It has sparkles and roses because Georgeanna loves roses. Those are one of her favorite flowers. And then we have a little text spot with roses again with some ribbon. It's a journaling card. Coffee dyed paper on the back. Then we have book pages from a vintage tulip book with lace sewn on the bottom. This is the first signature. That's why it has 1 tulip. Then we have more coffee dyed paper to write on with a tuck spot. And in the tuck spot, it has a picture, an ephemera of a rose. It's printed in Canada. And then we have a picture of Georgeanna. That was in her teens when she took it. It's a journaling card with lace sewn. Then we have pages from vintage books, pictures from vintage books. Those are the places that she visited. And then we have pages from vintage flower books. She used to read because she loves flowers, loves gardening. And then on this side we have a pocket. And this is an authentic postcard from 1906, which is the current period. And this is the Marble Arch, London. That's where she lives now. She wrote on the back. She wrote on the back to send it to her father in the United States. And on this side we have another page from a vintage book with lace sewn on top. And on the other side is water paint with a belly band and a picture inside. This is her. Is an authentic photograph. This is her when she was little. And on this side we have more vintage pages from vintage flower book. It's more roses because she loves them. And on the top is a little tag I sewn. And on this side is brown paper that you can write on. And when we flip it, it's a triangular pocket with a piece of fabric from her mother's wedding dress. You can feel the back also. On this side we have pages from Victorian book. It's clutches, ladies' clutches and purses and leather goods. And here is more space that you can write on with the ribbon sewn on inside, or you can just read about it. And on here, I also sewn a cloth from her mother's other wedding dresses. It's more space to write on. It's coffee dyed paper. And on this side, more pages from from the Victorian book. On this side, we have a triangular pocket with a piece of paper from a vintage book from the 1800s, because you can still feel the font. You can still feel the writing on it. Then you have more brown paper to write on with roses that you can read about. And I also sewn a white ribbon on top. Then we have another belly band with a journaling tag on it. This is her house in the US, her apartment. On the back, it's leisure paper that you can write on. Then we have King Edward VII. This is the Edwardian time. She's currently in the Edwardian time because it's 1906. And this is King Edward VII. I sewn ribbon on top. And on this side we have a pocket with a little notebook on the inside that you can write in. It has various pages and you can write various things in there. I really like the photographs from the vintage books because you can feel the texture and it feels very different than modern books. And this is the place that she visited. And I left a tuck spot for you guys to put something in there. On the back is a journaling card, or you can use as a bookmark. And this is the Tim Holtz paper clips. In the back, it's just coffee dyed paper that you can write on. And you can use this as a bookmark if you like. You don't have to use it as a journaling card. On the bottom, I sewn purple lace. On this side is a tuck spot with a postcard. You can see it's very old. It's blank, so you guys can write on. Or you can just leave it like that. And this is the end of the first signature. On the first signature, it has blue sparkle. And on the second signature is pink roses, because she loves roses. Then we turn the page is a pocket with a journaling card and ribbon sewn on the side. And on the back is coffee dyed paper that you can write on. They're roses. More writings about the tulip with ribbon sewn on the bottom. This is a second signature, so it has 2 tulips. And then we have coffee dyed paper that you can write on. With ribbon sewn on the side is a tuck spot. This is Georgianna's grandma, and she's a royal just like Georgianna's mom and her grandpa. Her dad is a soldier from the US. On the back is more space journals. And then you guessed it, it's a rose. This is a card game that Georgianna likes to play. And this is a book page from a vintage flower book. Then we have, on the other side, we have a pocket with ribbon sewn on the side, and it's a postcard. It's from Lime Street, Liverpool. It's in England. It's a postcard from a very long time ago. I'm pretty sure it's from the 1900s. Or maybe even 1800s. Late 1800s or early 1900s. with fabric sewn on top. And this is a picture, a drawing I found in a vintage book. And when you flip it over, is a belly band with a very, very old photo. And then there's pictures. On this side is from a vintage book. And it's a triangular pocket with more of her mother's wedding dress that you can feel in a coin protector. Then we have more clutches and bags that she owned or she wanted. And then it's more space, coffee dyed paper for you to write on. When you flip it over, it's 2 whole pages that I sewn ribbon. In the middle of the signature, it has 2 glass E-beads. In every signature, it has that. And more pages from the Victorian book. And on this side, we have a triangular pocket with a negative film. I don't know if you can see, but this is her mother, Margaret Williams. And this is her father, John Smith. And she is Georgeanna Mary Smith. On the back, we have more brown paper to write on and pages from vintage flower books with ribbons on top. Blue is her favorite color. Blue and turquoise and teal and green. Those kind of colors are her favorite. And here we have a belly band on a page from a vintage book. This is her with her dog, Georgie, when she was little. It's one of those Tim Holtz. I think it's quite cute that she named her dog Georgie after her. On the back, we have pictures of her mother in her wedding dress and her mother's cousin. It's also pages from a vintage book. And here we have a pocket. And inside we have a stamp collecting pages because she loves to collect stamps everywhere she goes. And it's quite old, as you can see. And feel the texture of it. It's really smooth compared to regular papers that we have these days. Regular white papers. And I left this top spot open for you guys to fill something in there. On top, we have a little clip with a journaling card and space to write on the back. You can also write under here or on the side with a line paper. On the side, we have pages from the vintage tulip book. I sewn lace on the bottom. This time is yellow lace. And on this side, we have a pocket with rose on the bottom, a cardstock with rose on the bottom, brown cardstock. And this is a card in Latin because she learned Latin when she was young. You can write on the inside. And this is the end of the second signature. This is the third signature. It has a silver chair with roses on. And then we have a triangular pocket with a rose journaling card with pink ribbon sewn on the side. Coffee dyed paper that you can write on. And when we flip it, it's 3 tulips. I don't know if you can really see the third one, but it's the third signature. That's why it has 3 tulips. With silver ribbon sewn on the bottom. I really like the silver because it matches the third signature. And on this side, we have more coffee dyed line paper to write on, with a tuck spot of roses. You guessed it. And her in her room studying, with ribbons on the side and coffee dyed paper on the back that you can write on. You can also write on this journaling card, this ephemera thingy. And on this side we have places that she visited, because she loves traveling. And when we flip it, is drawings that she did. It's from a vintage book. When we flip it, is sari silk pocket with a vintage postcard. Those are what they wore in the Edwardian time. And on this side we have teams from 1903 that she's seen in Washington. When we flip it, is a yellow belly band. The ribbon, I find it really cute. It looks like little flowers that she loves. And on this side we have a picture of her and her mom. Her mom died when she was 3 or 4. And she lived with her dad ever since. And on this side we have more pages from the vintage flower books. Wild gardening. Wildflowers with blue ribbons on top. And brown paper to write on. With a triangular pocket and materials from her mother's wedding dress. Here's more bags that she owned in the Victorian times. And here we have a triangular pocket with a page from the 1800s that you can still feel the font. On this side we have more pink and blue watercolor pages with yellow ribbon with the journaling tag inside. White ribbon on top with apartments that she used to live in the US. And flowers that she loves. More watercolor pages that you can write on with the teams that she loves with white lace on top. Those are her classmates. Some of her classmates. And on the other side we have some of the people that she used to go to school with in the US. And on this side we have a journaling card, and then on this side we have a pocket from a vintage flower book, sewn with ribbon on the side of flowers. And on here we have different colors, various colors that she loved, like turquoise, teal, green, blue, purple. And those are notebooks, and it's a notebook that you can write inside. Various pages that you can write a lot of things inside. And when we flip it, this was a nanny of the England's royal princes, Elizabeth and Margaret Rose. And on the back is photos that she took. And I left this open for you guys to put something there as a text box. And when we flip it, is a journaling card of King Edward VII, with on his throne, His Majesty, with places that he went to, like his library or somewhere. On the back is more journaling card, copy dyed paper that you can write on, with one of those Tim Holtz paper clips. And on this side we have pages from the tulip book, vintage tulip book, with silver lace on the bottom. I love that. It's so shiny. It reminds me of royalty. And on this side we have a triangular pocket with a letter inside. As you can see, this envelope is super old. On the inside we have a letter from Margaret, her mom. I didn't want you to grow up under the royal expectations like me. I wanted you to be free. Oh, that's so sweet. Love, Margaret. February 29th, 1884. That's when she was born. She was born on a leap year. And this is the end of the third signature. It has forks, several forks and spoons, because she's a royal with roses on the bottom. We're on to the last signature. When we flip it, you guessed it. It's flowers, it's roses, and carnations. Carnations. It's a journaling card with purple ribbon sewn on the side, coffee dyed on the back. And when you flip it, it's more writings about the tulip with green or teal ribbon sewn, teal lace sewn on the bottom. It's the fourth signature, so it has 4 tulips. When we flip it, it's a tuck spot with blue and white ribbon sewn. And when we open it, it's her grandpa with her mom and her 2 aunts. On the bottom is a rose card game that she used to love to play. And here we have more readings from a vintage book. And then on the side is more about flowers from a vintage flower book. Ausbach Roses with a pocket and ribbon sewn on the side. And when we open it, it's a postcard. Mom. Oh, it's very old. It's from 4:45 p.m. August 12th, 1903. This is where the castle is. Because she's a royal, so she lives in a castle. And here's more space for you to write on with ribbon on the top, sewn on top, and it's a Singer sewing machine. This is the first Singer sewing machine. And when you flip it, it's a belly band with cream ribbon and a very old photograph of her dad, John Smith. As you can see, in the US, there's a lot of snow in winter. Well, everywhere has a lot of snow. And here we have more pages from vintage flower books with ribbons sewn on top, and on this side we have more brown paper to write on with a triangular pocket and her mother's wedding dress in a coin protector. Then we have more purses that she owned in the Victorian times, and more coffee dye paper with ribbons sewn on the side that you can write on. And in the middle is 2 e-beads, glass e-beads. And here is more purses that she owned from the Victorian books. And this is Georgeanna. This is when her mother died. And this is a very old film negative. This is her in the US. She moved to England after she read the letter. And pages from vintage flower books with ribbons on the top. And on this side is a belly band, a cream belly band with a journaling card inside. It has various things like her library or her living room with lace and the plants that she loved and ribbon. And also on the back is more ledger paper for you to write on. Those are the flowers that she loved from vintage books, with a white paper and with coffee dye paper and ribbons on top. This is a pocket made from a booklet, from a page from a vintage book. vintage flower book or gardening book with sari silk, blue sari silk sewn on the side, along same as the closure. With some stamp pages that she likes to collect. She likes to go to various places. This is from the US. And she likes to, and it's very old. She loves traveling. Traveling and roses are one of her favorite things. On the back is English country house. Oh, she's probably Britain now. And when we flip is drawings that she did. Here I left a text spot for you guys to put something in with blue ribbon and blue and white ribbon sewn. And here is a little clip, a silver clip, with a journaling card that has various things on it. And on the back is more space for you guys to write on. Coffee dyed paper. And here is the tulip bulb with green ribbons on the bottom. A postcard of her father, John Smith, and her mother, Margaret Williams. And this is the end of our signature. It's rose cardstock with blue sparkly thing on the side on it, and more writings. And here we have a cotton pocket with blue and teal dyes all over. And here we have a journaling card with white lace with white ribbons sewn on top, with eyelid and various things like plants and her library and ribbons that she loved. And on the back is more space for you to write on. Coffee dyed paper with lines on it. And this is the end of our journal, Georgeanna. Thank you for watching, and please come again.